The mighty trunk is back. I really do miss flying the Abaddon. This is one of the most fun to fly ships that I have, and I'm still not really sure why I stopped flying the ship, but today I plan to change that. The Abaddon is back. Now, last time I did show you a lot of different builds that you can use on the ship, and today I will show you one such build in action. I have decided to keep the original integrations and of course the other rigs that I use on the ship, and that means that I have spent a lot of ISK building this Abaddon. Now I have integrations, the normal engineering rigs. As for the modules, I have mostly C-types, however I'm pretty sure I slapped one B-type somewhere in this ship. The stats are looking really solid, the ship is very capacitor stable. I have one B-type reactive and triple C-type adaptive armor harness, C-type pulse ladders, and everything else is generally quite cheap, although still very expensive. Now the only big difference would be the nanocore. I use a Blood Raider nanocore on this Abaddon. You all know that I really like Blood Raider ships, so I just couldn't fly this ship without the Blood Raider aesthetics, and this ship does look very nice. 23.20% extra absorption efficiency on the Nosferatus will make the capacitor last for a very long time. The Abaddon has a very good capacitor. The other nanocores look really nice, but I personally don't really need them. I'm still doing really well with the blue nanocore. Even without nanocores, I still do well on my ships. But for the aesthetics, I did go with the blood red nanocore. And this ship is very pretty. I like the design of the Abaddon. Now I've noticed that the Abaddon looks like the Revelation in a lot of ways, and you can kind of see the whole similarities between these two ships. They both have a very nice armor resistance bonus that I really like to use. However, the Revelation is still a very big dreadnought, while the Abaddon is a battleship, which is, a little bit smaller, but overall they're very similar ships, and I really do like that similarity. Alright, well, been a while since I used the ship in PvP, so we will see how it will hold out. I'm pretty sure that I don't have to worry about anything because I'm quite skilled at producing brick tanks. I've been doing that for like 2 years now. Okay, now our first target for today will be a rattlesnake. Now I have the Stabber fleet as tackle ship. I will use the Stabber to web the rattlesnake just to prevent them from going out of the bubble and to prevent them from burning towards the gate, while the Abaddon will slowly approach the rattlesnake. The rattlesnake seems to be going somewhere. I think they are still going towards the next gate. Oh well. The webs should hold the ship really well. Okay, the rattlesnake now into armor. It doesn't look like the ship has any nanocore installed, but as always I could be wrong. I know a lot of players do hide the nanocore just for the element of surprise. I know I used to do that on some of my ships, but nowadays I actually fly a lot of ships without a nanocore and still killing ships with a nanocore, so I don't know, a little bit weird. Okay, this rattlesnake is now into hole. Not really sure what's happening there with the Elsing, but okay. Still a faction battleship, not going to complain. And the Rattlesnake is destroyed. Ah, okay. That's a beautiful big explosion. Exploded just like a faction ship would explode. Okay, let's send the pilot back to Yita with the stabber. And with the Abaddon, I'll just go and loot the wreck. But first, let me show you the kill. 2.7 billion. This was a DPS build that I think also had some adaptive armor harness, but that's not going to be enough to tank a lot of ships in the game. It has DPS, but it doesn't seem to have any tank. Okay, next target we have a rock. Now, a rock is very similar to the rattlesnake, and this rock seems to be... This rock is active, and they are already boosting shields. Okay. That's interesting. This rock seems to be... tanky. We might actually need a little bit more DPS over here, but we will see. Just in case, I have to pay a close eye on the local. Now, I am pretty well tanked. I'm not really worried about a bait rock, for example. However, just to be sure that my corp mates survive, I have to play this a little bit more tactically. Now, the shield booster does use more capacitor than the armor repair, so I think in a endurance battle we should be winning very easily. The local appears to be quite chill so far, which does mean that this might not be a bait ship, but we will find out that in the next couple minutes. So I'm maintaining a 40-kilometer range. The rock is well inside of the bubble. Our bubble pilot is maintaining a very decent orbit around the rock. Now I notice here, at this moment, I noticed something very odd. I spotted some missiles flying around, and that made me a little bit curious. Who is using the missiles? I know my corp mate is using lasers, and now I spotted that the missiles are actually coming from the rock. So this rock is using missiles. Now, not really sure why that's the case, but this rock does use missiles, which means that the DPS on that ship is not going to be the best. Now, I don't know how many missiles they have equipped, but okay, they also have blasters and missiles. That's a very odd combination there, but that means we should be able to tank the damage. Now the missiles seem to be impacting our interdictor pallet. The missiles seem to have range, but the blasters shouldn't have range to hit a fast moving cruiser at about 35 kilometers. So my friend should be able to tank the missiles without a problem, and the blasters should be quite ineffective against my Abaddon at this range, but I will continue to slowly approach this rock. Now, I'm trying to figure out what build they are using. There's a high chance that they are using dual boosters, because I see that they're boosting a lot of shield, but at the same time they're also taking quite a bit of damage from my lasers. So I expect a build that is focused on tank, but at the same time on, I guess, DPS, but I'm not really sure about that DPS part because they are using missiles. By the looks of it, they are using about 3 or 4 missile launchers, which means the rock will have about less than 1,000 DPS because of the missiles. The rock doesn't have any bonus on missile launchers, only on blasters. Let's say 1.2 thousand DPS at best, so I should be pretty safe from blasters and from the missiles coming from that ship. They should not have enough DPS to break my tank. Okay, now the rock is into armor. There's a chance that they left without capacitor, although I noticed that I was already breaking the tank of the rock from the start. It just took a while because of the shield boosters.
Shield damaged.
Okay, my shield is low. I'm taking about, I would say, around 1000 DPS from the rock, which is not nearly enough to break the tank of this ship. So I should be good. I just checked the distance between the gates so that the rock doesn't jump, but they are far away from the gate. We should be safe. Okay, they have dual Nosferatus on my ship. Now I am in armor, and it looks like the rock can't even dent my armor. Well, and the rock has been destroyed. Okay, that was a very fun fight, a very interesting one. Never seen a rock using missiles, but it happened. 1.9 billion. They used 3 missile launchers and the rest blasters, dual boosters, capacitor battery, and adaptive. Well, not a. I wouldn't call this a bad build. They just have to remove the missile launchers for extra blasters, and the VPS would significantly be increased. But overall, that was a very fun target, very fun kill, and a very fun fight. 37 kilometers from the gate. Yeah, the rock. I think they kind of panicked because they actually went further away from the gate as the fight went on. Okay, well, next target. It just happens that we have another rock for some reason. Okay, I will slowly approach the target. I will send my tackle out, stabber tackle on the rock. I'm always ready to sacrifice that stabber if it means to hold a very expensive ship. That's the purpose for this ship. Very cheap and very effective tackle. Oh, okay. The stabber has been launched at the rock. They have been webbed and scrambled. And now I will slowly approach the rock with the chunk. Now that nanocore looks like a CyberX nanocore, the newest one, so let's see if the nanocore will have any effect on my Abaddon here. I've been told that like the nanocore should kill me in like 3 hits. I've seen a lot of very weird stuff lately, which has no, has no logic behind it. So yeah, expensive nanocore versus a cheap blue nanocore, and I see that the rock is already in a hole. They didn't even attempt to go after the stabber, which is weird because I see them boosting shields, although that's very weak shield boost. Well then, there goes the Cyberx rock. Okay, let me go and loot the wreck with the chunk, and let's take a look at the kill. Who got the kill? Well, it's not the Abaddon, it's not the stabber. Someone did get the kill. I think it's one of my friends. Waiting for the kill to be posted. Meanwhile, I still approach the wreck. Oh, there is the kill. Almost 2.1 billion. A sniper rock. A lot of stabs. And of course, a Cyberx core that had the main attribute on stabs. Imagine my shock. Of course, everyone will pick stabs on that nanocore. It's what happens. But in this case, stabs don't work against bubbles. And the Cybercore failed against a very cheap blue Abaddon Blood Raider core. Nanocore doesn't really ensure a victory if your ship or if the pallet is not ready. Well then, what do we have here? We have another chunk slowly lurking towards the gate. You know, when I see a chunk, it usually means two things. It means it's a bait, or it means it's a bait. Because most Abaddons that we fought here were bait Abaddons, but this Abaddon seems to be a little bit weird. Well, the shield went down very quickly, but here is the shocking part. The armor also is going down very quickly. Now the Abaddon has a 20% bonus on all damage types on the resistance if you have level 5 skills, and you could notice that, but I don't really see that being a thing on this Abaddon. Their armor went down almost as quickly as their shield, which means that this pilot doesn't have good skills for the Abaddon. And now the Abaddon is in the hole, scrambled and webbed. I haven't rammed the ship in a very long time. I will have to go and go back to the ramming part. I used to love that. And the Abaddon has been destroyed. Very, very weird Abaddon, I would say. It felt weird, but we will find out. That's some very nice loot, by the way. About 380 million from that one module that dropped. This might be one very expensive Abaddon. We will find that out very soon. Let me approach the gate and let's take a look at the kill. 2.3 billion, a sniper Abaddon with beam lasers, a large shield extender. Oh no, that's not good. Uh-oh. Oh no. Yeah, this is a very, let's put it lightly, a very interesting build indeed. A shield extender on one of the best armor tanks. I will never understand why that's the case, but okay. Now next target we have a Raven Striker. Now this Raven did spawn a little bit far away, so I will slowly approach the Raven, jumping with the stabber just to check out if this Raven isn't a bait. High chance that it is a bait. Most of these ships are bait ships nowadays. Okay, seems that it's empty. Let's go back with the tackle stabber to web the raven. Now the raven is burning out of the bubble. I think they have a afterburner. Doesn't look like they have any resistance mods active, which is weird. Okay, tackle stabber is back, quickly approaching the target for the webs. Once webbed, it should be very easy to approach the ship with the Abaddon. Okay, triple webbed, adapters are on just in case, to prolong the lifetime of the stabber if it gets focused by the raven. The raven is still trying to burn out. They are right about the edge of the bubble. They have about 5 more kilometers until they can exit the bubble. The Abaddon slowly approaching. Now at 40 kilometers, the raven is losing armor. They don't seem to be boosting shield, which makes me wonder what kind of build they have on the ship, since they are not engaging. They are trying to burn out, but that's not going to work, because, well, the stabber is what's holding their ship in place right now. If they want to escape, they will have to shoot at the stabber, and they are not doing that for some reason. Well, now at 54 kilometers, the raven is in about 40% hull. A little bit below that, but it's going down. There is nowhere to go. Oh, we have another ship that popped in. The raven has been destroyed. Nero's high mobility. Okay, let's try to kill that ship next. Okay, Nero's also destroyed. Let me send back those pilots back to Yita with the stabber, and with the Abaddon I will go and loot the wrecks. The Raven pilots warped out, so they were very close to the edge of the bubble. I'm glad that I did have the stabber tackle for that ship. Okay, let's take a look at the kill. Okay, 14 million was empty. 2.2 billion Raven striker kill. And this explains why they did try to burn out and why they didn't attempt to fight. They had no tank modules, they had no afterburner. I thought they had an afterburner, but looks like the Raven is just faster than the Abaddon with the default velocity. In any case, 2 very nice kills. Next target we have a Badger 2. Fingers crossed, by the way, for a decent loot drop. And judging by the amount of Concord missions that I did with this one kill, this might be a very juicy Badger. Let's find out. 1 billion, okay. There's Condor interceptors, 4 of them. Unfortunately it was 8, but 4 survived. Well, who wants a interceptor? Well, you know where to look for them. Next target we have a Cinnabon. I will quickly go and wake up the stabber tackle alt. Currently is on a different device. The Cinnabon now into armor. Okay, stabber on the way to web the Cinnabon just in case. Stabber has webbed and scrambled the Cinnabon. And the snowball is destroyed. Nice. That was a nice kill. Okay, always nice to catch a snowball. I like to shoot down these ships. Not really sure why, but it just became something very satisfying to do lately. Okay, let me loot the wreck with the trunk and let me show you the kill. 1.2 billion. Unfortunately, not the best loot drop. But still, I'm not going to complain about a faction cruiser kill. PvP hunter build on this Cinnabon. I like it. And they also had one track computer. That's also very smart with the track computer. Next we have a Caracal sniper that popped in. The tier 8 cruisers as well as tier 10 cruisers have been vastly improved in the last balance patch. The tier 10 cruisers became really good. I really like them. Very scary ships. Okay, this Caracal is a shield tank that lost shield. And this Caracal has been destroyed. Nice. Solid catch. Let's take a look at the kill. 446 million. This was a expensive Caracal sniper. Quite a expensive kill and very nice loot from this ship. Well, one of the more expensive Caracal snipers that I've seen. Next we have a Gila that popped in. Okay, let's send the Stabber. Stabber going towards the faction cruiser. Hold a second, where's the armor and what happened to the hull of this Gila? Something very suspicious going on here. Well, there goes the shield, and well, there goes the hull, I guess, because there is no armor. And the Gila has been destroyed. One of the weirdest targets that I've seen in a very long time. Not really sure what happened to that Gila, but they met their fate on this gate against this Abaddon. Very interesting cargo holds. There's a lot of stuff inside of this Gila. 1 billion overall, it's okay. Okay value. Looks like a PvP Gila as well. Interesting. Next target we have one Bella Cruiser. We'll attempt to shoot down the ship without the stabber tackle out, because the other device is on the charger. Running two accounts at the same time does use battery a lot, and I guess I will not complain about my hands being cold on winter, because the device goes really warm. After all, I use pretty crazy options in the settings on both instances of the game. Well, never knew that a battlecruiser has only 3 high slots, 3 low slots, and by the looks of it, 3 medium slots. Never knew that was the case, but I guess now I do. Next we have a Sunensis that's trying to burn out, but that's not going to work against an Abaddon that has about 52 kilometer range with the lasers. And the destroyer has been destroyed. Let's take a look at the kill. 204 million. These ships are usually ridiculously expensive and always a worthy kill. Next we have one Mahler. This time this Mahler is not a bot, it's actually a player. I know. Kinda shocking, I know, but it's an actual player. And the Mahler has been destroyed. Okay. Now, remember when I said that bots have better builds than actual players? Well, why do I say that? What do you think? A shield tank on one of the most heavily armor tanked cruisers in the game. Yeah, very sad. But very good loot drop, a Virilicas medium Nosferatu, and almost everything dropped from that Mahler. Next we have a Vexor Navy. Vexor Navy destroyed. Very nice. Let's take a look at the kill. 66 million. Now this looks a lot better than the Mahler. Next we have a Prophecy. The Prophecy is repairing armor, and by the looks of it they're trying to burn out. But I don't think that's going to happen today. Still well within my optimal range, so there is no escape from the Abaddon. Let's take a look at the kill. Well, the most expensive missile did drop. The large C-type missile launcher did drop. So overall a pretty solid kill. A PvP Prophecy. Interesting indeed. Next we have another Vexor Navy. Let's quickly yeet this ship. Okay, this Vexor has been destroyed. $63 million. This Vexor is a little bit cursed. An armor repair and a shield booster. Oh man. Just why? Why do players fit like that? It's so bad. It's not a good build. It's really not. It's bad. Pick shield or armor. Is going to be working a lot better in the longer run. Okay. Waiting for the next target to pop in. Or will they jump in? Okay, I guess not. They have turned around. There was a phantasm on the other side of the gate, but unfortunately the phantasm decided to warp out and they didn't jump. Well, this was a prototype and not a... oh my god, what kind of build is this? Yeah, let's not look at the build of this prototype. It's not very pretty to look at. Let's go to the next target. We have one Cyclone. By the looks of it, this Cyclone has a nanocore, just not sure which one, but it sure looks very nice. And the Cyclone has been destroyed. Nice. Let's take a look at the kill. 251 million, a very solid cyclone kill. Also pretty decent build. Although I would use one large shield booster on the ship because it has a bonus on that. Next we have a Nereus 2, fingers crossed for a very nice loot drop. Nereus to destroy. There was a lot of conquer missions. Perhaps it was a good kill. And a good loot drop. We will find out right away. Well, 468 million, not bad. But yeah, loot is nothing impressive. Well then, that was a very nice Abaddon run. I haven't been flying this ship in a very long time, and honestly, I'm kind of sad that that was the case, but like I mentioned on the start of this video, I will be flying this ship a lot more often now, as well as the Hyperion, and I'm definitely looking forward to see what kind of ships and what kind of fights I get with the Abaddon. Alright, with that being said, hope that you enjoyed. Stay safe, fly safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.